A unique joint Memorial Day ceremony is set to get underway, bringing Israelis and Palestinians on both sides together to mourn and acknowledge each other's grief for loved ones killed in the conflict. It's taking place in spite of attempts by Israeli Prime Minister to bar 181 Palestinians from entering the country to attend. The top court overturning Benjamin Netanyahu's decision made under his role as Defence Minister, saying this.
It is not for the defense minister to intervene in how a family chooses to express their private bereavement, the sadness and grief that is present with the loss of a loved one. The petitioners before us have gathered bereaved families who have chosen to express their pain and commemorate their dear ones in a joint ceremony. It isn't for us to intervene in that decision. The defense minister is responsible for the security of Israel's residents, and it is up to him to defend them from all danger. We struggled to see the danger that this ceremony poses to the Israeli public. We decided to make this ruling on condition and to instruct the defense minister to issue entry permits for the sole purpose of participating in the ceremony to 100 Palestinians.
Netanyahu responding to the decision on Twitter, saying today's High Court decision was wrong and disappointing. There's no place for a memorial ceremony that equates our blood with the blood of terrorists. That is why I refuse to allow entry to the ceremony participants, and I believe that the High Court has no place intervening in that decision. Now, the ceremony is organised by Combatants for Peace, an organisation of former Israeli soldiers and Palestinian militants, as well as the Parents Circle Families Forum, a group of bereaved Israeli and Palestinian families that work together for reconciliation. Now, Ben Kfir is a member of the Parents Circle Families Forum, and he joins me here in studio. Mr. Kfir, thank you so much for being with us here on the eve of Memorial Day.
Thank you.
Now, sadly, your involvement, of course, in this organisation is born out of tragedy. Your daughter, an officer in the army, was killed along with other Israelis by a suicide bomber while waiting for the bus. Tell us about that incident.
Usually she used to stay at the camp for the whole week and come home only on weekends. But on that special day, people asked her to come to join a meeting in our hometown. So she left the camp at 5:15 and went to the bus station. And while she stood there, a private car stopped next to them. And a young Palestinian, a member of the Hamas, came out of this car. He had an explosive belt on his body, stood next to them, and blew himself up and killed 9 Israelis, all of them between the ages of 18 to 22.
Now, I understand you were watching the news that day. Tell us about how you felt that you already knew what had happened to your daughter even before the army turned up at your door.
Yeah, I was at my home and I've seen in my TV a picture of a building of a bus station. It was almost ruined. And just behind the bus station, I could see a fence, and 100 meters off the fence, I could see 4 buildings, and I looked at that picture and I said to myself, I know this place, it's Yael's camp, I've been there several times. I could even point the window of her office in one of the buildings. And I waited for her to call me, because whenever there was a terror attack in Israel, as soon as she heard about it, she used to grab the phone and call me and ask the silliest question that dropped into her head at that moment. Not in order to get an answer, but in order to give me the opportunity to hear her voice. But she didn't call. So after half an hour, I couldn't resist it anymore, and I called her mobile phone, and there was no answer. I called her office. It was engaged. So I turned off the TV and went on with my business next to my computer.